Great, thank you everybody, and welcome to our press conference today. As mentioned, my name is Brady Erikson, President and CEO, and I get the pleasure of kind of hosting us today for our first IAA conference as a standalone independent company. As you can see here, our focus is really on advancing today as well as powering tomorrow. And what that really means is really helping our customers improve efficiency today on an incremental basis, as well as keeping their vehicles on the road longer and running optimally. We're then going to support that with working on a lot of the future, working with them on transitioning from fossil fuels to carbon neutral fuels and eventually carbon-free fuels of tomorrow. With PHINIA, you can see here we're actually, despite being only a year old from being a publicly traded company, we actually have over 100 years in the industry. We're about 3.5 billion. We cover a wide range of fuel systems, electrical systems, as well as a nice suite of aftermarket components as well. And you'll see there actually some really recognized global brands with Delphi, Delco Remy, and our Hartridge brands. We also have a very global footprint to where we can design, develop, source, manufacture, and supply our customers in every region of the world where they need our products and components. What you'll see here is also a complete suite of complementary technologies and products, from the electrical systems to fuel injection systems, to then leading to complete ECUs, systems, and calibration. So we can actually bring it all together into a nice complete package. And that's then going to be supported, as I mentioned, from a full suite of aftermarket components to support our customers not only with the components, both service new and reman, but also the diagnostic tools that they need to service those products, and training and software. Over the last year, we've had a tremendous amount of success. First and foremost is actually being spun off and now being fully independent from all of our IT systems. We brought in our own culture, our own values, our own beliefs, as well as our operating model in order to deliver the results that we have over the past year. We've also made significant strides from a carbon neutrality standpoint and delivering on our sustainability goals. We actually just published our first sustainability report last month that really highlights where we're spending nearly 80% of our R&D dollars on energy efficiency improvements, as well as carbon reduction and alternative fuels. Along with that, in our own operations, we've actually, in the last year, reduced our CO2 footprint from our operations by nearly 10%. As you'll see on the next slide, we've also been continuing to win a lot of new business, and I think that's really kind of a surprise to a lot of people, being combustion focused. There's still a lot of new business awards out there, whether it's in traditional fossil fuels, diesel and gasoline, but also a lot on the alternative fuels, including hydrogen as well. So we're seeing a lot of support from our customers with our focus on the combustion engine. And then finally, as you'll see, there's been a number of announcements over the last year on our 100% ethanol applications, E100, a hydrogen launch that's coming up, as well as biofuels and other e-fuels that we're supporting. And we'll show some of those highlights, and Todd will show some of those highlights here shortly. As I mentioned, here's just a quick highlight of some of the different types of technologies that we've been winning. We have a lot of customers across heavy duty and medium duty, from components to complete systems and calibration and integration, all the way to a number of partnerships with the US DOE on hydrogen applications, hydrogen ice, as well as with the EU government, UK government, and some French universities, where we're really driving a lot of additional hydrogen interest. And we really believe that hydrogen ice is going to be one of the key technologies in the long-term future. It's going to take a lot of time. There's still a lot of infrastructure challenges, so we're investing wisely, but we do think that's going to be one of the key solutions of the future. And with that, I'll pass it off to Todd.
Great. Thanks, Brady. It's really a pleasure to be here. And at PHINIA, as we look toward the future, we see hydrogen as a robust and viable technology that can help us in the transport industry move toward decarbonization. I'll explain a little bit more about what that means to us. We're aware that there's a climate crisis. It requires action. and a transformation of our energy system is needed. Part of that transformation may come from multiple sources, multiple energy pathways. These sustainable energy sources, there's no one-size-fits-all, no single perfect solution for us to get there. For us to achieve our global decarbonization goals, it will require the best of every technology that we can use in the application that it's most suited for. This is everything from electrification for battery electric vehicles, to alternative fuels and different types of fuels, to hydrogen, which we'll talk a little bit more about. So we will need these technologies for us to move forward. In fact, I'll mention that with the current pledges from various countries around the world toward decarbonization related to the IPCC goals, we will not achieve our global temperature increase targets unless there is further action taken. And that's where we can help in providing solutions to the industry. Fuels will help us address a number of these energy challenges. We can make renewable, sustainable energy in many parts of the world, but it varies widely by region. The average wind speed, the rate of sunshine varies between different countries, different regions, different locations, and that doesn't always match up with where that energy needs to be used. So there's a challenge in making sustainable energy and then transporting it, storing it, and putting it to the point of use. Those challenges can be addressed with fuels. Multiple solutions will be needed to be able to resolve each of these challenges, but a liquefied or gaseous fuel has the opportunity for transport, for storage, in ways and technologies that we currently understand that can move renewable, sustainable energy from point of production to point of use in a cost-effective way. Along with that, the global fuels landscape is evolving. Alternative fuels are receiving additional recognition, are receiving additional attention, and are being used in more and more ways in every region around the world. So these alternative fuels, as they become more recognized, more actively used, will contribute to our decarbonization solutions. Well, in some ways, that's where PHINIA comes in. With over a century of development, design, expertise, and capability in diesel fuel systems and in gasoline fuel systems, PHINIA has the knowledge and experience to apply those skills moving toward the future, toward alternative fuels, whether liquefied or gaseous. We work to improve the efficiencies of today's systems while we leverage on that skill set, the asset base, and the knowledge of our team and customers to be able to move toward the future. What does that look like then as we explore the transition to carbon neutrality? Hydrogen internal combustion engine is a great option for us to move forward. You can see here on the slide many of the advantages, from rapid refill to similar power and performance characteristics to diesel. Additionally though, it allows us to leverage the deep experience across the industry of decades and decades of optimization of the internal combustion engine. Be able to use that, the asset base, the equipment, even the service network, for us to be able to move toward carbon neutrality and ultimately to carbon-free future using combustion engines with a fuel that has zero carbon. So in some ways, we can look at the hydrogen fuel direct injection system, where we provide fuel in a gaseous form through a regulation module into a common pressure rail which then feeds into an injector, precisely metered, all of this controlled with PHINIA's ECU, engine control unit, software, and calibration. We provide these services to OEMs and customers around the world, those same skill sets and experiences that we've done with diesel and with gasoline fuel systems. The result of that, over the last years of work, is a demonstration vehicle for a H2 ICE light commercial van. You can actually see and ride in and experience this in Hall 11. It's here at the show. But we have been able to take the hydrogen development work and the experience in fuel systems and apply it to a vehicle that is showing similar drivability and operator interaction to a diesel. We've actually done several endurance and durability tests over tens of thousands of kilometers, where this vehicle has operated at full payload in adverse environmental conditions from -4 degrees C on up to normal operating temperatures, and has shown excellent power and performance characteristics. In addition to the work that we're doing with innovation of fuel systems of tomorrow, we're improving fuel system efficiencies today. Brady shared some examples of some of our launches, and here are a few more. We've provided a diesel common rail, a value system that allows our customers to meet emissions requirements in a cost-effective way at 350 bar. An example of this can be seen on our stand with a Kohler engine that we're demonstrating today. E100, several of our customers are interested in ethanol, and we have adapted fuel systems to be able to work with ethanol and other alternative fuels to improve efficiencies today. A 500 bar GDI system has been launched to increase efficiency, performance, and emissions within that gasoline fuel system. And on the right side of this slide, we see a couple examples of a vehicle conversion, a 1976 Jeep Cherokee that's been converted to run on hydrogen ICE. And below that, we're partners with several racing companies. Most recently, our components featured in the 24-hour Le Mans series that has taken place. Well, let me conclude by saying we are moving forward to the future. PHINIA provides solutions to issues and challenges that we experience today. As we move to the future, and we will continue to work with customers, with industry partners, with governments to move toward our global decarbonization goals. You'll notice a call to action here, because as we move forward, the technology is ready. We've demonstrated that. We've proved that through both lab testing and on-road durability testing. But we need green hydrogen production to increase. We need an infrastructure to be able to deliver that to a point of use. And the cost of hydrogen has to moderate, which it will as more volume comes. In conclusion, I do have one further announcement to make, which is our PHINIA Emissions Standards Guide is published, available today, building on a legacy of Delphi roots for many years. This guide represents a culmination of global regulations for light, heavy commercial vehicles, for passenger vehicles, on-road and off-road, and captures both historical emissions norms as well as current. We spoke a little bit earlier, emission standards are always changing. This represents the best of our knowledge, and we provide it to the industry. It's here available today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the time to be able to share our path toward the future. PHINIA is delivering efficiencies today and powering toward a cleaner and carbon-free tomorrow. Thank you.